The surprising role of dogs in World War I and II. Number 9. The resistance dogs that provided early warning systems during World War II. During World War II, dogs played an important role in early warning systems to detect the presence of enemy forces. A group of dedicated resistance dogs were trained to be alert to sounds, smells, and movements that could signal the presence of incoming troops. The dogs were able to detect the approach of the enemy faster and with greater accuracy than humans due to their superior hearing and sense of smell. When the dogs detected the presence of the enemy, they would bark to alert the resistance forces of the incoming troops. This gave the resistance forces the critical advantage they needed to prepare for the attack and respond quickly. The dogs' sharp senses and alertness enabled them to spot the enemy before they were even within sight, and saved countless lives as a result. Number 8. The Bravery Awards given to dogs for their service. During World War I and II, many dogs risked their lives in service to their country. They were trained to provide vital services such as scouting for enemy troops, delivering messages, laying telephone lines, and searching for wounded soldiers. The courage and bravery of these dogs was widely recognized and rewarded. During these wars, dogs were given medals of honor, such as the Dickin Medal, for their dedication and service. They were also recognized in other ways, such as by having their names inscribed in memorials and monuments. In addition, many countries have awarded dogs with special military decorations or created special military ceremonies in recognition of their service. Thanks to these awards, these heroic dogs have been remembered and honored for their bravery and loyalty. Number 7. The role of dogs as mascots in the war. During both World War I and World War II, dogs played an interesting and surprising role as mascots for the troops. Dogs often helped to improve morale and keep up the spirits of soldiers during their difficult times at war. During World War I, the most popular canine mascot was Rin Tin Tin, a German Shepherd Collie mix who served with the U.S. Marines. During World War II, a wide variety of breeds were used as mascots including Doberman Pinschers, Fox Terriers, and even a famous Chow Chow named Shim Shi. These mascots were often seen alongside their owners in battle, providing company, comfort, and a reminder of home for the troops. The presence of these dogs often made a difference in the success of the mission, and they were credited with helping boost morale. Number 6. The story of the Little Rascals in World War I. The Little Rascals were a group of large, fearless dogs that were trained to locate wounded soldiers on the battlefields of World War I. The dogs were collies or sheepdogs, bred for herding, and were attached to battalions of British soldiers. They were trained to sniff out wounded soldiers on the battlefield and run back to their owners to alert them of their find. The dogs were incredibly brave and remained calm despite the loud noises of battle. The Little Rascals were credited with saving countless lives by quickly locating injured soldiers and bringing them to safety. They were also credited with reducing the number of battle casualties by helping to locate injured soldiers and prevent them from suffering further harm. Reports of the Little Rascals' heroic efforts quickly spread, and they were given official recognition for their courage and service. In 1918, the British government awarded a total of 23 dogs with the Dickin Medal, the highest award of recognition for animals in service of the country. Today, the Little Rascals are remembered as heroes of World War I, and they serve as a reminder of the incredible contributions that dogs can make to our lives. Number 5. The use of comfort dogs, to help treat the psychological trauma of the soldiers. During World War I and World War II, dogs were used for more than just tracking and scouting purposes. They also played an important role in helping to treat the psychological trauma of the soldiers. In an effort to help cope with the stresses and strains of war, many soldiers found solace and companionship in the presence of dogs. The practice of using comfort dogs to help soothe the psychological trauma of soldiers was first introduced by an American Red Cross nurse named Marguerite Scroggie in 1918. After seeing the positive effect that dogs had on traumatized soldiers, the Red Cross began giving out dogs to soldiers as a form of therapy. This practice quickly spread around the world, with many other organizations and individuals offering their own dogs to help comfort those affected by war. These comfort dogs would often spend time with soldiers, providing them with unconditional love and companionship. They also helped to distract soldiers from their troubles by providing something to keep them occupied. By the end of World War II, the use of comfort dogs had become an accepted practice among military personnel and served as a valuable source of comfort and companionship to those in need. Number 4. Dogs trained to detect mines and enemy movement. In World War I and World War II, dogs were trained to detect mines and enemy movement. During World War I, the German army used dogs to search for hidden explosives, allowing their soldiers to traverse more dangerous terrain without the risk of triggering a mine. These dogs, known as mine dogs, were trained to focus their attention on the ground, ignoring any distractions, and to bark when they detected the presence of a mine. They were also valuable in signaling the location of an enemy ambush. During World War II, dogs were used in a similar fashion, though their roles were expanded to include messenger duties and guard duty. In addition, dogs were trained to detect enemy movement, such as the presence of tanks and aircraft, by using their powerful sense of hearing. This allowed them to signal the presence of the enemy before it was visible, giving the Allied forces a critical edge in battle. Number 3. The different breeds of dogs used by the military. During World War I and II, many different breeds of dogs were used by the military. These included German Shepherds, Border Collies, Dobermans, and Labradors. German Shepherds were used to locate and protect soldiers on the battlefield and to locate wounded soldiers. Border Collies were used to carry messages between troops and between military headquarters and the front line. Dobermans were used to provide protection and guard prisoners of war. Labradors were used to retrieve ammunition and to search for survivors. Number 2. The dogs that worked as search and rescue dogs. During World War I and II, dogs were used in a variety of ways to help Allied forces. Dogs were trained to become search and rescue dogs, known as K9s. These dogs were specifically trained to locate wounded soldiers on the battlefield, as well as survivors of downed aircrafts. Furthermore, they were also used to carry messages between the trenches and to guard against enemy attacks. Search and rescue dogs provided an invaluable service to the Allied forces. With their extraordinary sense of smell and tracking abilities, they could quickly locate wounded soldiers or survivors of a crash. As a result, hundreds of lives were saved by the heroic efforts of these dogs. Number 1. The use of messenger dogs during the war. During World War I and II, messenger dogs were employed to help transmit messages between soldiers. The dogs were trained to carry messages while wearing a pouch and were able to travel through dangerous, war-torn terrain. The dogs were often used to deliver messages between the front lines and rear command centers. They were also used to deliver messages between different regiments and divisions. The messages were typically written on small pieces of paper and tied to the pouches that the dogs wore. In addition to the messages, the pouches often contained supplies such as food, medical supplies, and ammunition. The dogs were incredibly brave and loyal, and their efficiency and reliability were invaluable for the success of both wars. Hey there, thanks for tuning in to our channel and watching our video about the surprising role of dogs in World War I and II. Here at our channel, we love to explore the various curiosities around the world, so if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest discoveries. Until next time, stay curious.